Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. It's Mallory with Made by Manny and Mal. Thank you so much for watching this video, first of all. Today we are making a sunset beach tumbler. I'm sure you've seen beach tumblers all over the place, but I wanted to show you how I make the sunset version of my beach tumbler. So hopefully you enjoy, and if you do, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for new videos every Tuesday and Saturday. Thanks for watching, hopefully you like it. Let's go. Okay, bye.
We're going to start off by spray painting our cup. We're using 8 different spray paints, most of them from Rustoleum and just a couple from Montana Colors. I'm using a 30-ounce curve from Craft Haven, and it's already been sanded and prepped and everything, so we're ready. And we're using our spray paint to map out our beach design so we know where our glitters will go later. We're going to start with our metallic gold from Rustoleum and cover the entire bottom, and then we're going to go up to the top of the cup and use our navy blue for the darkest part of our sky. So now we've got that middle part of stainless steel to kind of fit the rest of our colors in. I'm going in next with Grape from Rustoleum for the purple part of our sky, then with Poppy Pink, also from Rustoleum, to fade into that purple, and then we'll go back in with that Grape to just blend the two colors together a little bit more. And we'll do the same thing with our navy blue to blend that in with our purple. I like to go back and forth with my colors, make sure I've got a pretty solid fade, but this does not need to be perfect by any means. Of course, we're going to cover it with glitter later. I'm using Coral next from Rustoleum, and then we're going to go in with our teals. So this is like the harshest contrast in color that we'll have from the coral to the teal, but we'll blend it up with glitter later, so don't worry if this kind of looks a little bit stripy when you're painting. Our last color is our white, also from Rustoleum. We're just going to spray a little bit of that in between our lightest teal and our gold, and then I'll go back in with the gold to touch up the bottom of the cup just to make sure we've got enough room for our gold sand. We're going to let this dry about an hour, and then I'm going to apply our glitter using the epoxy method. So I've got some CCDIY medium viscosity artist resin mixed up, and I'm going to apply this to the whole tumbler, doing a very, very, very thin layer. The first glitter we're going to go in with is Sasha Fierce from PDB. All the glitters I'm going to be using on this cup are from PDB, and there's a sweet little discount code in the description box for you if you haven't tried PDB before. Next, I'm taking Anka onto our white part. So basically what I'm doing is going in with my chunkiest cuts of each glitter and just mapping out where the colors are going to go. I'm doing really light coverage on this round, and then when we go back up through with our finer cuts, we'll really just like go in with those colors. The only color that I don't have a chunky of is this orange, so I'm using Callisto, which is the same color I'm going to be using later, but that's fine, we're just mapping out our colors. So next I'm taking Pink Caddy, which is this beautiful, chunky, really light pink, and I'm just sprinkling as little as I can pretty much around that pink area, just to give it a little bit more dimension. Okay, so now this is where I went a little bit wacko. I took this Mermaid Crush and didn't realize how opaque the purple color was, and it's really light and didn't really go with my like dark vibe that I wanted up at the top, so you'll see me go back in later and kind of try to cover it up and blend it a little bit because I didn't want that harsh contrast between like dark navy blue sky and light like lavender sky in a sunset. On a light purple, it's absolutely beautiful. I just didn't plan for the dark to work. So now we're going to go back in with our finer cuts of glitter. I'm using Layan, I don't know how to pronounce it, for my gold, and then we'll go in with Pearl for our white. And then for the aqua portion, we're going to use Siren Song and Oberon. Siren Song is one of my favorite colors, and it's so pretty. The shimmer and sparkle, you can't even really see it on camera, but that girl really, really shines, I'll tell you. So now taking Callisto again, which is the exact same orange we used in our first round, and I'm really just like letting her go on this. And as you can see, I'm putting a little bit of the orange into the blue to start to really build our fade. So next I'm taking Gossip Girl, which is a really beautiful kind of neon fine pink. It's got a little bit of opal feel in there too. And I'm taking this on our pink part and then letting it fall a little bit into the orange so we get that blend really going. Then I'm taking Budapest. This is a color I did not expect to really like as much as I do. It's a really interesting, like dusty royal blue with a little bit of a purple kind of vibe also, and it goes really well with Mermaid Crush. So if you wanted to do a light purple and blue cup, you could do Mermaid Crush and Budapest together, and that would look really great. So here's where I started to try and fix my Mermaid Crush mistake. I took Velvet, which is a super vibrant violet purple color, and tried to blend it in with that navy blue and the Mermaid Crush to make it blend a little bit more. And you'll see that I continue to go back and forth with Athena, which is again really neon fine pink, and Budapest to try to blend those purples and the pinks together a little bit. And with Athena and Budapest, I'm just like going ham. I'm covering the whole thing, trying to get this blend a little bit better. I went back and forth quite a few times just with those two fine cuts until I was satisfied with my blend. So that top part is starting to look a lot better. I still will fix it a little bit more, but we're gonna focus now on the bottom half of the cup. So I'm taking Callisto again, and not only covering our orange part, I'm going up into the pink and down into the blue a little bit so we can get that blended really well. Then I'm going to take Siren Song and do the exact same thing. I'm gonna blend up into the orange and down into the white to get that ombre really flowing. And then here we go, back with Athena again. We're blending that purple out. Sometimes you just make a mistake and you go with it. And this ended up being a pretty good mistake. I really like how the sky turned out. No sky is perfect in every single way, so the dimensions, the different colors and everything really turned out to be something that I really like. So thank you, Mermaid Crush, for forcing me to go this route with my sky. I finished up our sky with Beta and then let this cure a full 12 hours, did 2 coats of epoxy, and then sanded everything so it was completely smooth. So now we're going to apply a 3rd coat of epoxy, about 20 to 25 milliliters. We're gonna let that spin, and then we're going to add our waves. So for our waves, I've got about 10 milliliters of epoxy in this cup, and I added a little bit of this Easy Flow Armor Art from CC DIY, and I'm just kind of stringing it onto the bottom portion of this cup. I'm gonna let it spin and dissolve a little bit. And once it had spun about 15 minutes, this is what it looked like. It kind of just faded into the background. This is what I get for using the Easy Flow white. It's not as opaque as the regular white, so I ended up just taking it straight from the bottle and doing a little drop onto where I wanted my waves to go, and then hitting it with my heat gun, which is what dispersed that color and gave me those really cool cells. After I did this, I let the cup spin a little bit longer, and then I decided to add a 3rd drop in that space that was a little empty. Did the same thing, hit it with my heat gun to get the cells really going, and then I let it spin a little bit longer and realized that I had quite a bit of white all over the bottom of my cup. I probably added a little bit too much. So then I went in with my finger and just kind of cleaned up a little bit, took a little bit of that white off, ran my finger around to get the waves to flow a little bit more naturally and not look like a big chunk of white on the bottom of the cup. I let this cure a full 24 hours before I applied my decal, and for our decal we're using this Good Vibes Only design, and I cut the decal out twice, one in gold chrome and then once in Oracal 651, just regular white. And I'm not going to do like a traditional offset where you can see the outline around the entire thing. I'm just going to kind of like actually offset them so you just have a little sliver of gold peeking through underneath the white. And since this is a curved cup, I did the Good Vibes portion and then I cut that transfer tape off so that I could make sure that I laid everything down perfectly. If you wanted to cut this and apply each word one by one, you could totally do that too, just to make sure that your decal doesn't crease or anything with the curve in that cup. So now I'm taking my white overlay vinyl and I'm applying this word by word like I normally would with a regular offset, and I'm just shifting that white vinyl to the right a little bit just so you can see a little sliver of that gold peeking through. So I'm going to do this exact same process for the rest of the decal, just go word by word, shifting a little bit to the right. Once your decal's on, you're ready for final coats of epoxy. I did 2 coats over this decal, 1 coat of CC DIY Fast Set, and then my final coat I used regular artist resin, also from Counterculture DIY. Let this cure and we were done. This turned out really good considering my little glitter mishap that I had in the beginning, but I really like how this guy turned out. Adding all of those different size cuts of glitter and layering them all over each other makes the cup really dimensional and really interesting to look at. And I'm really happy with this result. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel for new videos every Tuesday and Saturday, and share your beach cup designs in our Facebook group. It's linked in the description below, and I think that's all. Thanks so much for watching. We will see you in the next one. Bye!